handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men with power want? More power.
And now, broadcasting live from deep within the borders of occupied liberal territory known as California, Luca Zanna with Love, Guns, and Freedom.
All systems go.
Don't tread on us.
That was funny. I love it. Thank you, Dave.
You work for us. We're not your slaves. Don't tread on us. You cross the line. Soon you will pay.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is Gianluca Zanna, and you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom on K-Talks 1340 AM.
Now we've lost our patience. Yeah, you're trying to kill our constitution, to kill our pride. Now the wood is dry. Don't tread on us. We're not afraid. You work for us. We're not your slaves. Don't tread on us. You cross the line. Soon you will pay for all your crimes. You keep on pushing us.
All right. This is my second show. I appreciate you, listener, that you're listening to me, seriously. I'm an Italian by birth, an American by choice, and an Arizonian by gift of God. My goal with this show, it is not to entertain, because I think you can find much better entertainment out there than me with my accent, but try to engage each other in the search for the truth. And more important, I would like to unite. Even if we come from different positions. I would like to find people, human beings, that we agree on one thing. We have rights, inalienable, and we are nobody's slave. If we can find this common point together, I believe we can start to see the destruction and destruction that is upon us. Julius Caesar, the first real Roman dictator, that of course he started to destroy the republic and transform it into an empire. He said when he went to conquer Gaul, actual France, conquer and divide and conquer. It's not an accident that we've been put against each other. I understand some of us, we have different philosophy when it comes to economics. Some people think they are left, some people think are right. I just look into right or wrong, freedom or tyranny. And even if we have different economic point of views when it comes down to economics, I think we should understand that the real players, they are playing us against each other to divide us. Meanwhile, they are pretty much destroying what is left of our inalienable rights. Today's show, I think, is very important for me because it's something that sometimes hurts. I say the truth can hurt. It is true. When I came to America, when I left Italy, I had some sort of a utopistic vision of America, the land of the free, home of the brave. And don't get me wrong, America used to be the land of the free. This was the only experiment in human history where the founders of this country created an experiment never happened before. The United States Constitution and Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, regardless of the imperfection, because it's still written by humans, and we are not perfect, it was the most perfect thing ever happened to a free human society. That's a fact. So much that when there is freedom, there is prosperity. We had the most important, more beautiful and prosperous years, the first 100 years of this country. Then something happened. Today's show, it's about a very important question, to discover the truth about if we are free people or we are slaves. And I will bring facts, just facts, examples. I will just scratch the surface because there is so much to talk about every topic. And then you'll decide. And then when you decide, and if you come to my same conclusion, then maybe we are not free. Maybe we are slaves, even if we live in a prison without really any physical cage, no any physical bars, because that's the optimus prison for our masters, to keep us in the illusion that we are free. There was a writer from Germany. He said, "None are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe that they are free." When you believe that you are free, maybe you are the real slave. We all woke up one day. Ignorance, as I say, can be fixed. It can be fulfilled and filled with education. Pride and arrogance, unfortunately, there is no way we can work around that. So I admit my ignorance. And there were a lot of things I didn't know and I still don't know. I'm trying to learn. It's like a journey, okay? Was when I watched a documentary years ago. It's called America From Freedom to Fascism by Aaron Russo. And I just say, please go to watch the documentary if you can. It's free on the internet also. By the way, Mr. Aaron Russo died a few years after this production. That documentary, America From Freedom to Fascism, made me stop and realize that we are only free to do what we've been told. And when we realize that we are following orders, that we think that they are, somehow supported by laws, but these laws do not really exist, or maybe they're also unconstitutional, you realize really that there is no difference between the America that we are living today from maybe another tyrannical country, like could be China or Russia, even more probably. And people, maybe you could say, why you're here then? I mean, why did you come all the way here if you realize that this is not what you're supposed to, or what you dreamt? First of all, I love America. I love America. I love the principle. I love the idea of how America was created. And when I became here an American, my goal and my oath was to defend what is about this republic and this idea of freedom. So even, of course, today we live in a different America that probably 100 years ago. And we will expose now exactly when this corruption and this transformation started. I believe that it's our duty as Americans not to run away from America, but to stand and fight with knowledge first, because when there is knowledge, this is the most important ammunition. If you do not know that you have rights, you have no rights. And remember, history, who writes history, it writes also the present and the future. And who writes history, unfortunately, there is also another example. Normally, history is written by the conquerors. And we need to discover really what happened to this country and trying to re-educate ourselves to learn the true history of America and what happened. First of all, let's start to think about. There are two different things. One is called right, and one is called privilege. All rights are derived from property. That's a fact. And the first property that we all own is our body. If we don't understand that, we cannot understand freedom. Of course, then there is also the property. Material property could be land, could be a car, could be a gun, could be food, could be the money that you earn. But first thing we must understand, rights are derived from property. And then the second principle that I really believe, every right implies a responsibility. That's pretty much self-explanatory. And the third principle is that the only limitation on our rights is the equal rights of others. If we agree all to these three principles, I think we should all pretty much get along and try to understand that exactly what happened to America is far away from what I'm just saying here. Let's start to see, first of all, number one, the definition of slave and free. Because if we don't understand that, we cannot understand. I bought a beautiful dictionary, by the way. It also helped me with my English. And, okay, so we'll go from the word slave. Slave is a concept that pretty much everyone envisions with somebody with a chain around your neck or something like that. You don't need to have a chain to be a slave. You can be a slave because you are a person held in servitude, a property. Think about it. There is a concept that when you have a right, is something that, for example, let's say you own that car, okay? If you own that car, that's your car. You don't need to ask me permission to drive your car, correct? If you truly own your car, if you truly own your land, you should not ask me permission to do something on your land. Otherwise, it would be my land. If you own your body, why should you ask me permission in what you want to do to your body? Simple as that. So it's all connected to property. As I said, one thing we all have, even the poorest person without any type of capitals, the first thing we own since we are born, it's our body. So, and then there is the concept of free. Free as a free human being, without restraint. You know, you don't need to ask any type of permission if you are free. And we go back to the principle that we just said. Our rights of freedom implies a responsibility, and also it's limited on the other people's rights. So I cannot just do everything I want, because if I can do everything I want until I do not infringe on other people's rights. So now we understand that that's what's supposed to be freedom. Now let's start to look exactly some evidence. What happened to us when you wake up in the morning till the moment you go to sleep, and maybe also the moment you're going to meet your Creator. First of all, you know very well, if you have a house that you think you own, you're paying a rent. It's called property tax. You know, I find it kind of interesting to think about it. The government can tax me on one property that I have every year, the rest of my life. And if they have that type of power, why they cannot even tax me on my shoes or my pants or any other item? The worst thing also, people say, okay, but we need taxes because we need to have services. I understand. But did we really always pay a property tax since the creation of this country? Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I would say, the answer is no. Maybe we didn't have time to understand or think and to research when this process really started. I did spend some time and try to find out the answer, and we will go there. So you're paying a property tax because you own a house. And you know very well, the moment that you don't pay anymore your property tax, even for a few pennies, you lose your home. Simple as that. Is that fair? I don't think so. And also, if you look into your property tax bill, you will see there is a big chunk of money goes to school. All right? Maybe I have no kids. Maybe I don't like the public education system. That pretty much now is another form of prison. I want to homeschool my kids. Why should I be forced to pay for the school district? Why I do not use your service? And doesn't just go, this is my message, just to the, let's say, people on the left. People on the left say we need more taxes, we need school. Okay, that's what you think. Then we'll go there from other options. But I also would like to talk especially to the people on the right that they're against now what we call this Obamacare, that is pretty much another violation of our individual rights. A government forcing me as an individual to pay for a product that I do not want or may not want or use. Otherwise, I get fined. There is no difference. If we complain about Obamacare, and I do, you don't need to agree with me, but I really believe it's complete fascism. You should also complain about your property tax, because they're forcing you to pay for a product that you really may do not want. So I just leave it like that. We will go another show all about the property tax and when exactly happened. But just to make you think, property tax, you think you own your property, but guess what? Wake up. You are just a tenant. Then, if you want to build something, or you're supposed to be property, you need a permit. Why should I need a permit when this is supposed to be my home? Especially if there is no any type of commercial activity with the public and there is no liability. It's my head. Why should I go to the county or to the city to beg in front of a bureaucrat and ask per permit? I give you the permit to be there because I pay for your salary. That's my attitude. I hate the idea to think I need to ask a permit to build a little room or maybe put a roof out. Insane, just insane. But we will talk about that later on. But just think about it. So you think you're free, you need to pay property taxes, that means your rent. And as a good slave, every time you want to touch something or move a couple bricks on your property, you must ask permit to your masters. Then if you want to dig a well, guess what? You need another permit. And if you are in some states like California, I guess I got news for you. Maybe you cannot even dig a well anymore. And if you have a well, your master will also put a meter because it will charge you by the gallons of water. Think about it. So you're free. Great. Then if you have a little pet, like a little dog, guess what? You may need a license or the tag or whatever. Bottom line, you got to pay a tax. So they do not just own your property, but they also own your pets. And if you don't do that, I got news for you. This is not a game. I heard stories in Mojave County, people went to jail, okay? Talking about criminal charges. So think about it. And now government has the power to pretty much say that they need to tag your dog. Why not even your cat? Why not even your chickens? If you didn't complain for your dog, I think the cat is next to come. And maybe why not your kid? When you're going to when you're going to draw that line in the sand, seriously, when enough is enough. I find it disturbing to think that my dog on my property, I didn't say dog that he get lost. If somebody loses his dog, he should pay a fine. But my dog on my property, I don't owe you anything. I'm paying for my dog, I'm taking care of my dog. Just leave me alone. This is not your dog. Then we want to go to your car. You're driving a car. You think the car is yours. It is not yours. Master let you use the car. Because if you don't pay your registration every year, you lose your car. I just got a letter in the mail a few days ago by the Arizona Department of Transportation. I bought a used bike, little dirt bike. And register my name, of course, register. But I didn't want to use it on the road. I wanted just to keep it in my garden, on my private property, and look at it. And once in a while, just enjoying the noise. Think about it. So it's not going to go on the road. I got this letter, and they said, no matter what, just the fact that you own that bike, you must pay your fee. Registration fee every year. Wow, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was just in Italy. Guess what? I thought it was just in California. Guess what? Also in Arizona. I find it disturbing. Why don't, at that point, they cannot charge me also my shoes? Because I use my shoes sometime I walk on the street. If they can register my bike, maybe one day they will be able to register also my bicycle. Or maybe also my sneakers. So I reality check. You need to register your car because master, that's what he wants. And by the way, people say, oh, you need to register the car because we build roads. Guess what? Go to inform yourself, slave. The roads are paid by the gas tax, okay? Anyway, and that would be a fair tax because you pay only when you use it. You don't pay just because you own something. Because at that point, if you pay just because you own something, you do not really own that thing at all. It's just an illusion. Then I would like to give you another example how free you are. In some states, like Colorado, for example, and also other states, if you try to collect raining water, you go to jail. And there is a gentleman, I think it's in Oregon or Colorado. Anyway, it was an older guy. He challenged the law, and he's spending a few months in jail. Well, that's just a little part. Should be enough to make you think really what we are today. The illusion that we are wake up in the morning, we are in the land of the free, among the brave. And as I said before, if you don't like it, come back where you're from. Guess what? This is my country now, and I want it back the way it used to be. Because wasn't the way it used to be. And I will show you what happened. When all destruction, all this virus of tyranny started to cripple into our lives. Let's not forget about another great part, what I really think is the proof that we are slaves. It's called somebody trying to force you to administer the fruit of your labor, your money, in a way that is like worse than a Ponzi scheme. It's called Social Security. You know very well, this has happened since 1935. President FDR, one of the biggest socialist piece of crap, if I can say that on the radio, in my opinion, and this is my personal opinion, it was pretty much one of the first precursor of what we have today. So think about the idea. You don't have no option. It's not something like, I can opt out. No. The government decides, master, knows better than you, slave, how to manage your money. So before even you get your money home, part of your check goes straight to the government. That we all well know today, it's public knowledge, that there are no more money. Because at this point, the funds that used to be allocated to be used and managed to be given to retirements, the government already spent them. And that's scary. So that would be very sad, because think about it. The point they make that they own the fruit of your labor. And they think you're too stupid to be able to manage your money. So, you see, this didn't just happen today. Then another important thing, I think really what's also the vital point in the documentary I was telling you before, America from Freedom to Fascism by Aaron Russo, I invite you to watch. It's the income tax, the federal income tax. Remember something, before 1913, this country did not have income tax. This was one of the few countries in the world that a free man was able to keep the fruit of the labor. I'm talking about personal income. That was great, because the rest of the world never had things like that. And that's why our founding fathers fought for it. Because you don't need to give to your king part of your labor. Now you understand that, especially when you're on payroll, you got a check every week or every month. There's like a monkey on your back. You go out in the field, you reach for a banana or a fruit, and the monkey steals half of your fruit before even you can eat it. But when you understand it, you will learn, we will talk about that in the future, about who really benefiting of this income tax. Because people may say, hey, this is to pay for services. This is to pay for the poor. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I wish it was like that. At least would make me feel a little better, even I still think it's tyrannical and wrong. The income tax, all it does, it pays the interest to a bank, an international cartel of banks. It called the private Federal Reserve. You call it Federal Reserve, but you will see it is in the commercial book, Yellow Pages, it's private. And I tell you exactly what happened in 2 wars. Before 1913, the American government had the sovereign power right to print their own money, our own money. Every time we need some money, we were printing them. And we're also backed by gold, don't forget. After 1913, banksters, international banksters, I call them, because there are also many international banks. If you read the corporate structure of the Federal Reserve that is chartered in Delaware, you will see there are also shareholders that belong to international bankers, Bank of England, Bank of Italy, German banks. I mean, seriously. In 1913, these bankers, they pretty much bought out President Wilson, and they were able to pass the Federal Reserve Act. That means from that day, every time the United States government needs $1, they don't print anymore for free like we used to. They had to ask permission to these banksters. Say, please print me $1. Okay. Guess what? You have to pay the interest though. And out of thin air, like a magic touch, they print dollars, or now it's digital, and they put us in debt, in bondage, as slaves. So that's pretty much been proven. Most of your income tax, it goes just to pay the bankers. So, friends on the left, please, we may disagree sometimes on how we want to use, how we want to, try to help, because I like to help people. I don't want to give them a fish. I would like to help them and teach them how to fish. I see somebody's ringing the phone here. Anyway, we'll go one more time. And I want to get a call. I think would be a great idea. Let's see what's going on. 1 second. Okay, phone. All right, let's see if we can get it. Phone 4 on the air. Anybody there? Hello, I'm here. This is Luca. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom on K-Talks 1340 AM. Where are you?
This is Dennis Volke.
Nice to meet you. Where are you calling from?
I'm actually calling from the Arizona State Fair grounds entrance.
Okay, what's going on with you, my friend?
We're out this afternoon gathering signatures on petitions to put an initiative on the 2014 ballot to legalize marijuana in Arizona for personal use.
Legalize marijuana.
Yes.
So you believe that you own your body, I guess, right?
Yes. It is quite an issue of do we actually control our own bodies? I mean, do we own our bodies and determine what we're going to put in them and how we're going to live our lives with our bodies? Well,
I think I'm going to report you now to Homeland Security. I don't like this type of talk with me. You realize that? You are some sort of free person. And a free person in this world, unfortunately, I mean, this is not a joke, This is serious. I try to be sarcastic, but Americans, wake up. If you see Homeland Security, they put out reports for potential domestic terrorists, people that believe in freedom. And freedom means that you also believe that you own your body. So we are there, my friend. Thank you for the call. And I can ask you something. Regardless the aspect of, I know there is a lot of education out there. People understand the benefits, because if you want to compare marijuana with other, let's say, medical drugs, I think nobody really ever died of marijuana, right?
Oh, yeah. Marijuana is a completely safe herb, basically a herb. It's a plant that grows, and when you compare it to alcohol is a poison in that a fifth of whiskey can kill you.
Yes, and
there's been no reports of anybody ever dying from an overdose from marijuana.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to go there. My point is, I don't even smoke. I smoked marijuana probably once when I was in my teenagers, and I really couldn't stand it. But that was my personal experience. Doesn't mean that I need to force my experience on other people. I go even deeper than you because, I agree with you. There are way worse things that the government is allowing to do, like some medical drugs from big pharma or alcohol or even regular cigarettes. They are way more dangerous than a herb like marijuana. I did some research myself, but I would like to go deeper. Let's say tomorrow, right now, I'm here. You cannot see me, but I'm opening a cigarette and I'm putting cyanide inside here, okay? So
Yeah.
I'm smoking. And I would like to have a message for all the moralist people that they think they are saving America because they want to save our body. My first question is, do I hurt you? Am I right now smoking cyanide? Am I hurting you? Am I changing your life? I'm infringing on your rights. I don't care if the marijuana is good or bad. The point is, that's my body, and I own my body, and God, if you believe in God, it's my judge, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe. And I respect what you're doing, and I appreciate you doing that, because even I do not smoke marijuana, and I really think for me, for example, what I like is red wine, But
Yeah, red wine's great.
That's your right.
What's happening in our state is each year, on average, 16,690 people are being arrested for marijuana possession, and it's a felony possession charge. And, it's a matter of moral indignation in many ways that our police officers are no longer peace officers, but they're law enforcement officers.
I agree.
And in many ways, you can consider them as religious police, because the laws that we find on the books now are based on religious principles and ethics, and we've gotten away from what the meaning of the Constitution is.
I completely agree with you on this one. And the sad thing is, we change. I mean, this was never like this. People think, oh, this is the way it is. No, that's the way they made it be. Because America, I am sure, and I documented myself, in the first 100 years of this country, nobody was going to tell you what you could smoke, drink, or eat.
No.
Okay?
It would be utterly ridiculous for that to have happened.
Yeah, I mean...
Although Abraham Lincoln, the issue of alcohol prohibition was an issue that he was dealing with when he was a president, and that's over, 140 years ago.
Exactly. And another thing I would like to remind, especially, that's why I think we should find common ground with I'm not for right, not for left. I believe in truth, and more important, I believe in freedom. But sometimes, we have things we agree, for example, with people on the right, and there is a point that I really lose them. I don't understand their logic anymore. I say, wait a second.
Yeah.
If you think we believe in individual freedoms, okay, and you tell me that the government, because using the brainwashed mob, can impose an unconstitutional law and tell me how to live my life, what I can drink or what I can smoke, that's scary.
Well, the exercise of creating an initiative and going to the Secretary of State and filing the paperwork and to actually going through the effort of getting all the signatures is a matter of last resort. And if we wouldn't have to take this if our judges were actually following the Constitution and doing their job, which is to protect us citizens from unconstitutional laws.
Liste, how can people... sorry, the time is running low. How can people help you to sign the petition?
We have a webpage called SaferArizona.com, and we also have a Facebook group called Safer Arizona. And also you can friend me on Facebook. It's Dennis Volke. That's Bohlke. And thank you for the opportunity for me to talk.
Dennis, I appreciate your job, what you're doing, and this is coming from a person that I don't like marijuana, but I respect, and I respect the right for anybody to do what their body says is right for them. And I would like to have you maybe one next time on a show. We can talk deeper about that. And of course, I would like to have also a state representative that is on the other side. And I would like to be fair. I would like just to use logic and try to see if maybe we can find some common ground in this one.
Well, that would be great. There's also a fellow in Kingman called Michael Weiser, who is also working very close with me, and we're working on the what's called a harm reduction bill for the next legislative session.
Okay.
He's running for Congress, and I would be happy to do a radio program with you anytime.
Listen, thank you very much. I'm going to dedicate right now to you and to all the freedom-loving people a song I wrote. It's called "Give Me Liberty" or "Give Me Death," and music and lyrics by Luca Zanna. But I co-wrote the song with most of the text from Patrick Henry. Okay, so
all right, thank you.
Here
so
we
much.
go, my friend.
Give me liberty or give me death. I'll fight till the end, till my last breath. Give me liberty or give me death. I'll stand against tyranny. My soul will never rest. There is no longer any room for hope. If we wish to be free, there is no retreat but in submission and slavery. We have petitioned, we have remonstrated, we have supplicated, we have prostrated. Is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased as the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take. But as for me, give me liberty or give me death. Give me liberty or give me death. I'll fight till the end, till my last breath. Give me liberty or give me death. I'll stand against tyranny. My soul will never rest. Give me liberty or give me death. I train my life for freedom with no regret. It is natural to man to indulge in the illusions of hope. We are apt to shut our eyes against a painful truth and listen to the song of that siren till she transforms us into...
Okay. This is "Give Me Liberty" or "Give Me Death" by Luca Zanna, lyrics with Patrick Henry, one of my heroes. And you can listen to all my songs if you can go to lovegunsfreedom.com or to my other website, zanna.us. You can get any of my songs for just 99 cents, and I appreciate your help and support. Now, I see the phone is ringing, and I think we should get more phone calls. Let's see. Here, who is it? Hello, caller.
Hello, Luca. This is Jean.
Jean. Do we know each other, Jean?
Oh, yes. Buck and Jean, Phoenix, Arizona, the Rock
Hey, my friend Jean from all the way from down to Phoenix, I guess, right?
Yes.
I'm so glad you called. How did you find out about the show?
Well, I was looking on Facebook, and I saw a friend of yours said, check it out and hook up, and so I did. And this is excellent. You know, the whole United States should have grassroots radio shows telling the truth.
Hey, I really appreciate it, and I want to remind everybody, because this didn't happen just because I'm here, but K-Talks is the great radio, and even you may not agree with sometimes with some of the hosts. You see, there's a big variety of people. I am myself, and other people are themselves, but please support this radio. This radio doesn't get really corporate sponsor. That means accept sponsor, but it's never been influenced by sponsor. It's a very free radio station, so everybody can chip in a few dollars donation, and I appreciate it. Thank you. What's going on there? What is what you want to talk about today, Jim?
Oh, I just was going to offer encouragement and just to keep up the good work, Luca.
Hey, listen, I really appreciate it. Please spread the voice. There is a lot of people there in Phoenix. I know the big freedom movement, and I hope they can listen to the radio, give me ideas, support, even critics, because, I'm here. This is pretty much a new journey and new challenge for me. And I like to hear especially some input. People can please write me email to zanna@zanna.us. And my last name is Zanna, of course, and I spell it for you, zanna@zanna.us. So I like to hear from you guys, because I'm kind of trying to learn my trade here.
Well, God bless you, Gus.
Thank you very much, okay? Okay, talk to you soon. Okay, so now, this is interesting. You see people even from Phoenix, out of the area. So, we were talking about, are we free or we slave? That's the bottom line. I would like to, 1 second, sum it up, because the point is, so far the evidence shows that unfortunately we are not free. But I would like just to read you fast, okay? You got another thing that's going on. This is the most important thing. The government now has the power. Before, the king used to have, before the Magna Carta was signed in 1215 by King John. If you understand what the Magna Carta used to be, what the importance of the Magna Carta was that the king could not get anymore the peasant, the slave, the subject, because we were subject, or they were subject for sure, and throw his butt in jail or in the dungeon for no reason. Even the king had to follow some sort of a due process. Now, thanks to the National Defense Authorization Act of 2012, and of course, it didn't happen just by accident. That was started before in the first Patriot Act signed by Bush and the second Patriot Act signed again by Bush. But Obama, the big closer, they're working for the same agenda. People, please don't play partisan with me because I bash both of them. He finalized the destruction of what used to be a free America. Now we are before pre-Magna Carta. With the National Defense Authorization Act, the government, without any type of proof, can get you, arrest you, no access to judge, no jury, no lawyer, no due process, no even bring any evidence, and you disappear forever. This is not a joke. I wish I was wrong. This is a fact. And this doesn't even belong to a country of like China or Russia. This is in America now. So if we understand that, that shows that we are really slave. And the final little things, I crossed the border. This is a station is in California. And just at the border, I had to cross from Arizona. And I realized when I'm here in California, I'm a complete slave for a couple of reasons. Because in Arizona, we still have a couple basic rights. First of all, I can have a gun, a weapon. Not because I'm a violent person. I'm the most peaceful person probably you will ever meet. But for me, the weapon is a philosophical point of view. Because remember, slaves never were allowed to be armed. And when I'm in Arizona, I know at least I still have that right without any permit. I don't need to ask a permit to a government or a bureaucrat. It's my right. It's my inalienable right. Then you realize also that when I come here, you better watch you put your seatbelt. In Arizona, there is still this federalization of laws, and we were forced to have seatbelt, but I never had a problem. Never. And I put seatbelt most of the time because I believe they're safe. But think about it. When the government tells you with a force that you must wear a helmet, like in California, not in Arizona, or you must have your seatbelt, they don't do that because they care about you. They do that because they start to brainwash you and program you that you are their property. And that's a fact. I have my own health care. I can take care of my bill. And don't tell me if I had to put or not my helmet, because this is my head. And so the seatbelt, this is my body. Stay the heck away from me, please. But I'm trying to be here coming on time. I don't want to be pulled and pay a bunch of fines. So I comply as a good slave, and when I come here, I put my seatbelt, as that's said. So, but we still have a couple of things here in this country, or at least in this state of Arizona. We still have, first of all, like here, we have a First Amendment, and this is very important, because for me, this is the most important weapon. It's education. Learn, know your rights, because if you do not know your rights, you have no rights. Okay, let me get this phone call, because time is so fast. Okay, 1 second. Okay, caller, you on the air.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Richard. I'm over here in Arizona.
Great, Richard.
The reason I call is because I was listening to your explanation about the seatbelts. I don't know whether it clarifies it or not, but the seatbelt laws are really instituted by the insurance company. The actual law is that you have to have insurance on the car. But based on the rules of the insurance company, if you get in an accident and they determine that you did not wear your seatbelt, then your insurance is nullified. So when they see somebody driving without a seatbelt, it's the same thing as they see somebody driving with no insurance.
Okay.
That's the reason that they have the seatbelt law. It's kind of convoluted a little bit, but I can understand their reasoning since there is a law to have insurance on the car.
Okay, I have a question though. I mean, I understand insurance for liability towards, when I drive my car, I want to be sure that if I hurt somebody else, like I hit your car, I must have enough money to be able to cover for your damage. And I agree with that. Because as we said at the beginning of the show, my rights ends when your rights start, okay? I'm talking about my body, my health. And the seatbelt, the moment that I decide as a grown-up person over 18 that I want to take the risk, okay, to maybe I don't like the seatbelt. Maybe it's against my religion. Maybe it's against my principle. Why should I do that? Especially when it's my body, okay? And you should, if people have the freedom to put a seatbelt, that's fine. But you're right, there is a big insurance fascism behind, and fascism means the union between the government and the corporation. As Mussolini said, the definition was corporatism, corporatism, okay? So pretty much it's true, like the health insurance. It's always, this decision, they don't happen normally just because some government bureaucrat or some politician said, I want to help you, I want to help the people. No, there is economical decision behind. Like we know very well now that most of this bill, like the healthcare, was written by the private corporation of the insurances. Now they have, every American must be a customer. And so for the seatbelt, I understand. But for me still, I stick to the principle that this is my body, I'm not endangering anybody else. I also can take care of my bills. When it comes down to medical, I want or not wear a seatbelt. It is just my decision. Thank you very much for calling. Anyway, all I can say is there is so much more to cover. I would like just to say another thing. For example, we were talking about drugs, okay? I don't care what drugs. I don't care recreational drugs or medical drugs. I don't use drugs, okay? I never really used drugs besides twice. I smoked one time marijuana when I was a kid, to 18 years old young man in Italy, and I don't like it. But it's not about drugs. It's about the right. Who owns your body? And also, talking about body, let's talk about prostitution for a moment, think about it. If I'm a man, I'm a worker, labor, a farmer, I sell the muscle on my arms. That's what I can do. If you're a woman, maybe you have some other muscle that you want to sell, okay? Morally, I would never, if I had a daughter, I would say, daughter, please, let's talk about it. Maybe you can find something better. But the point is, as an individual, it's your choice. It's between you and your God, but not between you and the government. The government will never should have the power to decide in a private transaction between two consentient adults if you want to become a prostitute. It's your body. Why should you go to jail? Why the other person should go to jail? If there is a consensus and there is no violence, let's not play the moral pastors that want to say other people how to live their life. Let's leave the judgment to God. And I believe in God, okay? So that's what I'm saying. So the point, even the prostitution shows that you don't really know on your body. You're not free. Now, I would like to find solutions because so far I just scratched the surface. And we'll see that there's things you cannot do. Since the morning you wake up in the morning, you need a license, you need a permit. You don't really know on your house. You don't really have opportunity to even drive, or you need to also now you're forced to buy a product that you may not want, like a health insurance. And don't forget, if you have a business, I don't even want to go there. There are so many regulations. You don't really have any more control over your business. Food, you want to talk about food freedom? Forget about marijuana. There are people in California or in other states, for example, like Wisconsin, if they want to sell raw milks, they go to jail. SWAT teams. Seriously. I mean, I have no time now to go into details, but just Google that. You'll see. You get treated like Al Capone. I mean, gun on your face, okay? Look in New York, what they were trying to do. Mayor Bloomberg, that fascist, he thinks is a liberal. Liberal doesn't mean anything. These people are statists. These people they think that they know better than you, and they are the masters. You are the slave. In New York, they pass ordinances that pretty much they tell you that you cannot have salt in the restaurants. Or they tell you what type of size your soda must be. So, my God, time is running fast. I really would like to talk more, and we will go more. I would like just to say one word before we finish about something. This show is called Love, Guns, and Freedom. There is a gun part I would like to continue. We talked last time. It's called the M1 Garand, okay? And if you go to my site, lovegunsfreedom.com, you will see some videos about it. This is a great rifle. Everybody should have at least one, especially people living in places like California, for obvious reason, because it's a rifle that comply with this assault weapon unconstitutional legislation. So buy one, and I give you the best place to get it. It's a non-profit group. It's called the Civilian Marksmanship Program. Check it out, because unfortunately this rifle is being banned. Is being banned now, the reimportation from our Lord-in-Chief, Mr. Obama. More than 200,000 rifles supposed to come back from different countries that we gave them as a gift during the Cold War, and now Obama and his cronies pretty much outlaws the reimportation. This is a rifle that can defend freedom. It's a freedom for me. The rifle is the extension of the will to be free. And if you go to this place, you can get one. I have no affiliation with these people. On top, they are non-profit. The website is thecmp.org, thecmp.org. Check it out. It's an incredible rifle. It's one of my favorite. And top for me, this is the rifle that still has a soul. Because most of these rifles, they were used by real people during Cold War or World War II or Korean War. And there is pain on this wood, there is blood, and there is also love and joy to spread freedom when still was about freedom. You know very well, every war we're doing now since the Korean War, they're just United Nations police force. The last war we fought was World War II. Bless their soul. Thank you very much for listening. This was Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM. And you've been listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. Ciao.
You're listening to KTOX 1340 AM, Needles, California.